Morning, everyone. Virgo Triad here. It is February 2nd, 2018, and I wanted to start off this morning with giving you some additional information on the Heather Ann Tucci and Randall Keith Bean sentencing. And I wanted to go ahead and give a shout out to Moon Pie for directing me to this. It is the local8now.com news website in Knoxville, and it's the Knoxville man claiming sovereign citizen ideology found guilty of fraud laundering. And I'm going to go ahead and read this out to you so that those of you trying to get to work don't have to actually read it for yourselves. I will link it in the description for those of you that would rather read it for yourselves, however. This just gives some general information of what they're facing in sentencing, when that sentencing could potentially be, and what they're looking at. After an 8-day trial, a jury found Randall Keith Bean, 50, of Knoxville, and Heather Ann Tucci Giraffe, 45, of Pierce County, Washington, guilty of a conspiracy to commit money laundering, according to U.S. Attorney J. Douglas Overbay's office. The jury also found Bean guilty of 6 counts of wire and bank fraud. Sentencing was set for Bean on June 12, 2018, and for Tucci Giraffe on June 26, 2018, in U.S. District Court. Tucci Giraffe will face a sentence up to 20 years, while Bean faces up to 30 years on his charges. Prosecutors said parole would not be an option in the federal system. Many people had questions with regards to parole, especially with regards to Heather Ann Tucci Giraffe and her one count that she was found guilty on. It does not sound like that they are looking at the possibility of parole for either one at this point. According to the U.S. Attorney's Office, evidence presented at the trial showed that Tucci Giraffe acted as an unlicensed attorney for Bean in a scheme to defraud the United States Automobile Association, USAA, bank of more than $31 million. Court filings contained Tucci Giraffe and Bean's claims that the government was foreclosed upon and had no jurisdiction over them. And in trial, the defendants said that the United States hides individuals' secret accounts in the Federal Reserve Bank, which is a common ideology among sovereign citizen groups. The U.S. Attorney's Office said Tucci Giraffe was a former prosecutor in Pierce County, Washington. When wrongdoers attempt to stand behind an anti-government movement to hide or justify fraudulent criminal activity, they will fail. This jury sent the message that the American judicial system will not shield them, and these two defendants now know they will be punished, whether or not they acknowledge the authority of the court to do so, U.S. Attorney J. Douglas Overbay said. The United States also forfeited a motorhome worth more than $500,000 that Bean purchased with the proceeds of the bank and wire fraud conspiracies. USAA Bank's losses totaled more than $550,000 in the case. Bean was arrested by FBI agents in July of 2017 as he attempted to flee in a $500,000 motor coach that was purchased with stolen funds. Prosecutors said he resisted arrest and fought the agents during the incident. Tucci Giraffe was arrested in Washington, D.C. after prosecutors said she attempted to meet with President Trump at the White House. Americans are free to believe as they choose about the government, said Renee McDermott, special agent in charge of the FBI Knoxville field office, When those beliefs turn into criminal actions, law enforcement must act. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and link this in the description so you can read it for yourself. I'm sure you'll do a better job than I just did for you. I will come back with some information with regards to Randall Bean's closing statements that are now up on the IUV website.